非常感谢各位来自全球各地的各位嘉宾，欢迎大家参加今天的云栖大会。各位嘉宾，下午好。我觉得一场由人工智能驱动的智能化革命刚刚开始。上午其实我们在做这个演讲。那最近3年，其实我们已经感受到它的速度。现在看来，从行业来看，我们觉得实现 AGI 已经是确定性的事件，只不过是时间问题。但是在这个 AI 的发展过程当中，我们觉得这只是起点 ，AI 将发展出超越人类的智能，能够自我迭代、进化出超越人类的超级人工智能 ASI。我们相信，进化出超级人工智能之后，将会以指数级的速度推动科技的飞跃，引领我们进入一个前所未有的智能时代。那阿里云的定位，我们上午已经讲到了，我们的新的定位是希望成为一个全球领先的全站人工智能服务商。我们正在全力地打造一台全新的 AI 计算机，它同时拥有全球最领先的基础设施以及全球最领先的大模型，可以在基础架构和模型架构上进行协同创新，从而确保阿里云在使用 AI 能力和调用训练大模型时能达到最高的效率。而国际化是阿里云的长期战略。经过10年的耕耘，阿里云今天已经成为亚太第一、全球前4的云服务商，服务全球数百万客户。无论是像宝马、LVMH、阿斯利康、渣打银行这样的大型企业，还是像 GoTo 这样聚焦本地化服务的企业，都在采用阿里云的云和 AI 在加速创新。包括我们也是全球国际奥委会的官方合作伙伴，也提供了巴黎奥运会的全程的技术支持和。那所以未来我们将在3个方面坚定的投入。第一，我们将加速打造一张全球统一的 AI 云网络。过去1年 ，AI 行业的发展速度远超我们的预期，行业对 AI 基础设施的需求也远超我们的预期。我们正在积极推进3年的3800亿的 AI 基础设施建设，同时海外是我们的一个非常重点的区域，海外的投入建设规模，这个增长的速度远超我们现在在中国国内的一个增长速度。我们希望海外的更大力度的投入建设，能够支撑全球客户快速增长的 AI 和云计算需求。目前，阿里云在全球29个地域运营着91个可用区。今年以来，阿里云已在泰国、韩国、马来西亚、迪拜、墨西哥等地启用8个新的数据中心以及可用区。我们将继续加大投入，在未来1年之内，我们将在巴西、法国和荷兰设立新的 region， 并在墨西哥、日本、韩国、马来西亚和迪拜设立新的可用区。这是阿里云成立至今在海外基础设施上投入的最大规模的投入。我们希望通过几年的努力，在海外的我们的整个 IDC 的投入规模会在2022年的5倍以上。第二，我们在加速 AI 产品和服务的国际化。通义千问是最受全球开发者欢迎的开源模型。我们已经开源了300多款模型，覆盖全模态、全尺寸，支持119种语言，覆盖众多的小语种和方言。在日本、新加坡、阿联酋等地，众多开发者和科技企业正在使用通义千问，训练符合本土文化和需求的模型。今天上午，我们发布了新一代基于千问3 Max 的模型，超1万亿的参数，这是我们最大最智能的模型。未来我们将继续加大研发投入，扩大通义千问的全球领先地位。同时，我们将加速通义大模型、百链平台、派机器学习平台等核心 AI 产品的国际化，让每一位全球各地的客户都能在第一时间使用上最前沿的 AI 能力。在过去的4到5个月，阿里云国际业务的百链平台调用量实现了300%的高速增长，这正是我们国际客户通过阿里云使用最前沿 AI 能力的最好证明。第三，我们会打造行业最优的本地服务体验。作为一个中国本土的企业，作为一个中国出海跨境的一个云厂商，我们相信我们会在全球提供最优的客户体 客户服务体验。客户需要的不仅仅是产品规模和整个的产品的功能，更是需要一支了解本地需求、能够长期陪伴的技术服务团队。我们将持续投入建设本地的服务能力，提供7×24小时的技术支持，确保客户的需求能够得到及时的响应。最后，阿里云将继续坚持长期投入，通过开源开放的模型能力、全站的 AI 技术能力、无处不在的全球服务，为全球客户提供能力最佳的 AI 服务。在这个新的时代，我们希望和大家一起成长，共同抓住 AI 时代的机遇。谢谢大家。
Thank you, Mr. Eddie Wu, for your insightful opening remarks and for gracing our event. And up next to continue our grand vision for the Alibaba Cloud International Business, our business leader for the international unit will be sharing his key thoughts and announcements. Please join me to welcome on stage Senior Vice President, Alibaba Cloud Intelligence Group and President of International Business, Dr. Fei Li.
Thank you all for coming to this forum. I came to this forum with great excitingness. I've been assigned by the company with the trust from Eddie and from others to lead the international business unit. This is under this new position for just a little bit over a month, and we have the annual Apsara conference. I think there's no other greater time than this to introduce our new strategy, new thinking, how we can bring the best of cloud plus AI innovation, the technology, the product innovation that Jingren has introduced to all of you this morning. There's great potential, great opportunity that we can grow together. I truly believe Alibaba Cloud will help our customers evolve together to position themselves with the best opportunity in the cloud plus AI stage, on an international stage. That said, my sharing today will be talking about how Alibaba Cloud is a 5A cloud. What are the 5 A's? Start with Alibaba Cloud. We are for AI innovation. We are any stack, and we are anytime, and we are anywhere. So AI technology, in my opinion, is a Darwin moment for cloud plus, for cloud computing, for IT, for OT. So that requires our customers to have timely response, to have rapid innovation, to have organic growth, and to accelerate innovation for themselves and for their end customers. And Alibaba Cloud is one of the leading innovators in this space. With our customers, we can together build the Darwin moment to bring our services, to bring our business, to bring human civilization to the next level. And how we accelerate innovation around the globe with our technology and the services. I'll give you just a few examples. As Eddie just mentioned in his opening address, we are fully committed to our expansion to bring the best services of cloud plus AI technology to customers around the globe. For example, we have our grand opening of new data center, new region in Mexico, and we have a lot more coming up, which I will share with all of you in just a moment. And we have new opportunities. We enable new opportunities for our customers. Working with IOC, which I have the honor to host in today's forum. Working with IOC, we bring the first Olympic activity to the continent of Africa, which happened just 2 months ago. And we have signed and reached an agreement forming a new partnership with World Aquatics so that viewers around the globe can enjoy the best moment of athletes competing in the swimming pool. And we have formed new partners, for example, SAP, which I had the honor just had a great meeting over the lunchtime with our SAP partners to bring SAP HANA OP, to bring SAP RISE, SAP Flow on Alibaba Cloud, and bring that services to customers around the globe. Let me go back to the theme of my sharing today, which is why Alibaba Cloud is the 5A cloud. Start with A, Alibaba Cloud. The 5 A's we believe that are important for our customers. Number 1, AI innovation. Number 2, any stack. Going from public cloud to enterprise cloud to enable our customers to deploy their services on our stack. And we have full stack from cloud computing to the latest of AI technology, as those that Jingren shared and showed to all of you this morning. Anytime. As mentioned in Eddie's opening address, we are best in the class of providing top-level services to our customer to ensure we have fast and quick response. And lastly, anywhere. That's demonstrated to the commitment of our expansion in overseas IDCs, in overseas regions, which Eddie gave you an overview, which I will detail as well in a minute. With those AI innovation, any stack, anytime, anywhere capabilities, we bring the best values to our customers. From customer perspective, our value proposition is simple. We co-evolve with customer. We enable our customer to evolve in the Darwin moment of cloud plus AI technology. And we enable our customer to engage, better engaging their market, their end customer, better serving the society and their customer engagement. And efficiency. With our anytime top-of-the-class service quality, we ensure our customer enjoy the best efficiency out there in this competitive world. Lastly, experience. With anywhere commitment, our customer enjoys smooth experience no matter where their business, their operation bring them to. So with the 4A and 4E, we truly believe that Alibaba Cloud, with our cloud plus AI technology and the services, is your most trusted partner around the globe. And let me dive into each of the A's, how we bring those services and quality product to our customer. AI innovation. Jingren has detailed our latest technology in large language model, going all the way from large language model to AI infrastructure to cloud infrastructure. So here is just a quick review of a recap of what Jingren said in this morning. So we have the best of the large language model Queen, which is one of the most popular open source model out there. In addition to that, we have multi-modality support for video and images in Queen 1 family, and the latest Queen 5 family for audio and speeches. And our AI innovation is tested and proven by a lot of different use cases. For example, if you look at the Hugging Face indicators and many, many other benchmarks, Queen is ranked at the top to be the most popular, most downloaded, most used open source model out there. Not only that, we have worked with our partner, worked with developers around the globe to build a very popular, very rich ecosystem. What you are seeing here, this video here, to my left-hand side, is actually not developed by us. It's developed by developers from the APAC region. We organized an AI hackathon based on Queen model, and this is a winning prize by a developer team from Indonesia to generate a truly intimate video using Queen 1's capability. In addition to AI innovation, we are fully committed to provide any stack capability to our customer to enable them to engage their customer, to engage their market better. So what do I mean by any stack? Any stack comes from two perspectives. One is, if you look at the technology stack, Alibaba Cloud is one of the rare players on the market that provides a full stack technology and services from the traditional cloud computing stack, infrastructure as a service, go all the way to platforms as a service, then to the latest model as a service. In fact, we were among the first ones to advocate model as a service in the cloud plus AI market. And with our Queen model family, and with our AI platforms such as Pi, and with our AI infrastructure such as Lingjun, we actually offer a full stack solution to our customer, going all the way from cloud to the latest of AI. So that's any stack number one. Any stack, if you allow me to dive deeper into this stack, I'm sure Qingren gonna share that in a minute as well. If you look at our AI infrastructure, we have best in the class AI infrastructure for training, for inference, training for pre-training, post-training, fine-tuning. You can find most cost-efficient, most stable infrastructure in Alibaba Cloud regions around the globe. And I have some special numbers demonstrating to you from real use cases by our customer how we can improve efficiency and effectiveness of them. And any stack number two is that we actually, in addition to our public cloud regions, we have very flexible offering going from enterprise cloud for private cloud market, our Apsara stack platform, and this stack, a lightweight cloud platform that you can deploy in your IDC, in an on-premise environment. And for AI and traditional enterprise database, we have AI stack and DB stack. So we truly enable our customer to be flexible in engaging your customer and your market. Anytime. So we have one of the best engineering teams around the globe to work with our customers to provide timely response in a 24/7 manner. And in fact, we have 2 international service centers, 6 regional service centers, and 18 local service centers, providing best of the services with expertise going from different stacks and enable our customer to make sure that they are in good hand. Whenever they run into any issues, they can get fast and quick and efficient response from us. And lastly, anywhere. So we already have a large number of regions and available zones around the globe. We have 29 regions, 91 available zones, and over 3,200 edge nodes as we speak. And in addition to that, I'm very honored and proud to announce that these are the upcoming regions and available zones we're gonna release in the next 6 to 12 months time frame. Going all the way from Europe, in the Netherlands, in the France, to the Middle East in UAE, to Southeast Asia in Malaysia, to South Korea, to Japan, and to Latin America in Mexico and Brazil. That's just a small testimony to our commitment and our confidence to our growth in the international market. And all of this, let me recap. AI innovation, any stack, anytime, anywhere, is to enable our customer, is to support customer who trust us to evolve, to engage, to have efficiency, and to have the best experience. So we truly believe co-evolve, building an AI native future is the way to go. And thanks to our global partner ecosystem, ranging from ISV to MSP for services, to quality partners like SAP, Salesforce. I'm just listing 2 here, but the list goes on and on. You can see all these partner logos, and to the product front as well. We have full stack technology and innovation by ourselves. At the same time, as a cloud plus AI service provider, we truly embrace openness. We have involved with our partners providing the best product in each category. For example, MongoDB in the database space. Just as an example, to provide an open and rich ecosystem to our customer. And together with our partner and with our own technology, we make AI application easy for everyone. One of the flagship platform we have is Model Studio. And Jingren just unveiled Agent Studio as well this morning to enable you to easily enjoy the best of the model service in the class and build agent from an end-to-end point of view, make it easy and efficient and effective on the whole life cycle. And as evidence of that, as you just mentioned it too, in the just past 4 to 5 months, our model as a service usage in the international region has grown over 300% in just a short period of 4 months. And here are some customer success use cases I'd like to share with you. One is NTU. We have the honor of Professor Miao from NTU. They are working with us to accelerate green, digital, and AI transformation for Singapore and beyond. And BMW Group, working with us using our cloud plus AI technology and innovation, we are building an intelligent driving experience for BMW customers. And lastly, GoTo, one of the largest migration of US hyperscalers to Alibaba Cloud happened in just days without any downtime. And last but not least, let me mention Olympics. We have the honor of working with IOC to provide the best AI technology to Olympic athletes, viewers around the globe. The video you are showing here is fully AI technology in action of analyzing athlete action in real time from multiple angles and enable an immersive viewing and gaming experience for athletes and for viewers. Okay, now let me bring to the last piece of my sharing for today's forum. In continuation of our efforts with Olympic Committee, we are working with other sports association to bring the best of cloud plus AI technology to athletes and viewers around the globe. We are honored to launch the Sports Data Hack Challenge with SU and ThinkSpot. Let me welcome the guest representative from ISU and ThinkSpot to the stage, and we will have a very quick and efficient launch of the ceremony for this great effort together. Thank you. Please.
And at this time, please join me to welcome two leaders from the world of sports to join us on stage. General Director of ThinkSport, Ms. Claudine Breton, and Chief of Commercial and Marketing at the International Skating Union, Ms. Jiao Li. They will launch the Sports Data Hack Challenge together. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the official launch moment of the Sports Data Hack Challenge. At the count of 3, may I invite our guests to place their hands on the screen in 1, 2, 3. And may I invite our guests to come forward for a photo, please? Invite our guests to come forward for a photo. Thank you. A round of applause for the launch of the Sports Data Hack Challenge. Thank you, Ms. Claudine Breton and Ms. Jiang Li. Please take your seats. And back to you, Dr. Li.
This is actually my last slide. Thank for all the trust of all the customers around the globe that put into us. Without the customer support, without the customer trust, Alibaba Cloud won't be here. We won't be where we are today. But working together, we have bright future together. Let's AI innovate worldwide together. Let's build a better and brighter future for humans, for society around the globe. Thank you so much. Co-evolve with Alibaba Cloud. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome you to enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Li, for the inspiring keynote with the 5A slogan, Alibaba Cloud AI Innovation, any stack, anytime, anywhere. And as we continue to explore the frontiers of technology, we now look to the core engine behind Alibaba Cloud's innovation. Please join me to welcome our next speaker, Chief Technology Officer of Alibaba Cloud Intelligence Group, Mr. Jingren Zhou.
Good afternoon, everyone. Very excited to be here. I see the huge crowd and the huge enthusiasm. This morning, we talked about the latest development on Alibaba Cloud. And let me just try to recap. Right? Today, the foundation model and the cloud computing are clearly the main driver for all the technical innovations. Right? So on one side, and all the foundation models really depending on the key infrastructures. As the model become more and more complex and much larger, and then it truly depends on the distributed computing platform to facilitate the model training. On the other side, and with the latest development of the foundation model, and serving those models and encrypt all the applications with AI capabilities become the key for the cloud computing itself. So then we have the model as a service. And then as a cloud, we have to serve those models more efficiently. This becomes the important aspect of the cloud computing. So today, we believe the co-development of the foundation model and cloud computing and the co-innovations is the key for the success of this technology sectors. So over the years, and we are pretty happy and very proud that Alibaba Cloud is one of the 2 cloud service providers in the world who can develop foundation model and the cloud computing technology stack from scratch. Right? So we are one of the 2 in the world actually can working on both things. So enable the co-development, enable the co-innovations. So on one side, we have a full-fledged of the foundation model, 20 families, like the Queen, like the Wan, like the Farm, and they're all actually perform quite well. They are representing the leading foundation models in the world. On the other side, we have cloud computing, right? So this is the technology we've been working since 2009, and we are so proud actually we become one of the leading cloud service provider in the world. Combining those 2 together is the key. Right? Somehow, today we believe that we have such a capabilities to co-innovate, right, and to systematically innovate in this space. And on one side, we'll continue to drive the model innovation. On the other side, such a model development also requires the cloud computing innovations, right? So those kind of the co-innovations is going to be the key strengths moving forward. So we talked about in order to support the AI areas and all the applications, we need to work on at least 3 things, right? The number 1, we need to have top-notch foundation model, which we will spend some time to talk about that. And on the second layer, right, we're going to talk about the agent development, because this is the key how to bring the capability of the foundation model to practice, right, to integrate that into your application space. And the third is the AI infrastructures. Right? In order to support the foundation model, in order to support the applications, we clearly need to renovate and AI infrastructures to provide a much stronger and a much larger scale kind of infrastructure to support ever-increasing AI workload. So on the foundation model side, we are happy to share with you that we are one of the leading companies that building the foundation model. We have quite a few foundation models in our full stack. And one of them is Qwen, right? It's very popular and globally. And the other one is the Wan. It's also focused on the video generation. So in this talk, I will briefly give you some updates about our foundation model side. On the Qwen side, right, so today is obviously become the most popular open source model in the world, right? And so this is the result of the continued development collaboration with our developers. And we have over 1 million enterprise customers using Qwen on a daily basis. And also over the years, and there are so many developers working on top of the Qwen. So we have over 170 derived models. And the Qwen right now is obviously the number 1, is the largest the model families in the world. So in this conference, this morning, we talked about the introduction of the latest Qwen model, the Qwen 3 Max, right? This is the most powerful models in our Qwen families. And so it has, it's much larger, over like the 1 trillion parameters, and also doing quite well in all the benchmark testing, right? Also including the coding and the agent development. So a few weeks ago, we released the preview version of this Max model, right? And now, if you look at the Arena, right, so large language model Arena, it is ranked as the number 3 in the world, right? So this is the quite performant kind of the models globally. On the other side, we continue to increase the intelligence of this model. We introduced the thinking model, which allowed the model to reason, to really think through to solve a complex problem. And with this introduction of this version, we can achieve almost full marks on all the the math contests. It's just demonstrating how capable the model are. So besides the large language model, we also adding the multimodality support, right? On one side, we have the vision support, allowed basically the models to see through and understand many the video signals and also the image. This is what we call the Queen VL models. And with these models, you can fully, not just working on the language side, but also working on the image side, working on the video side, and letting the models to fully understand, interact with the multimodal contents. Yeah, the other ones that we also announced today is the coder, right? It's the Queen 3 coder. We believe that coding is the key towards the AI side, right? So this, as Eddie mentioned this morning, and the coding is very important capabilities, right? So in now letting the models to interact with the different tools. So we focus on the coding aspect tremendously. So over the past months, and we introduced the Queen 3 coder, and immediately it gained the extreme popularity among our developers. And today we announced the latest refresh, and it's been much more capable and much more performant. And I encourage you to try the Queen coders and yourself. The other one that is worth mentioning, it's the Omni models, right? So today we want to introduce the new way to interact with the model. In the past, you use one model to do video understanding, and then use the other models to do the speech recognition, and then the other models to do the speech generation. But now all those capabilities can be combined in one model, right? And then this is what we call the Omni model. It can fully integrate to have an integrated kind of experience for our customers, and then it significantly reduces the latency. Right, to sum up, and today, and the Queen family is become one of the most popular open source communities in the world, and we have almost 600 million downloads for our model and using their private scenarios on a daily basis. The other model I want to briefly introduce is the WAN model. This is the video generation models. So it starts with generating image, but over the years it can generate the videos, can generate avatars, can generate the word model. It's become quite a model families. And this time, this year, we introduced the WAN 2.5 preview models. And this is the first time we're not just to generate the videos, but we can generate the audio with the video at the same time. Right? So here is just a quick introduction. So all the video and the audios are generated by the model simultaneously. So as you can see, the video is quite vivid, and it's quite as smooth, and it's hardly can tell whether it's generated or this is to come from the professional film. All right, so like I said, with this model, we can generate the video and audio at the same time, right? So with the few prompts, you can generate the very vivid videos, and in the professional, actually the factors, and it can with the audio and with also the matching the background. Right? So because of the time is limited, I would encourage you to give it a try, and you can go to the Van.video website and just give it a try yourself.
Mama.
The other one I want to mention is the avatar space, right? So, So based on the WAN model, we also introduced avatar capabilities. Now you can use the WAM models to generate avatar. You can either just create a digital person yourself, or you can just copy. You can give in your pictures and also the 5-second speech, and then the model can emulate you, right? So can make a copy of you digitally, and can emulate your voice and also your gestures and everything. And after that, we can let in the models to animate the avatars, right? We can let in the avatars study to move, study to dance, and also study to sing and song. And then finally, we can also allow the real-time interaction with the avatars. Right? So this is the truly capable kind of the technologies, can be useful in many business scenarios. Sorry. All right, so far we talked about the latest development of the foundation model. The second layer is the agent development. This is also very important for the business applications. Right now, if we want to truly unleash the capability of the models and apply them into the business scenario, we need to develop the agent. Right? We need to develop the agents to understand your business scenario, understand your business practice, integrate with your local data set, and many more. Right? In order to do that, we need to have the agent to do a better planning. Right? So to understand your business scenario and try to plan intelligently. Instead of have the static workflow, we can have a dynamic workflow and letting the model to try and see. And second, we also need to have a better information integration. We can letting the model to understand your local data set, your proprietary data set, right? And also the real-time data set to truly enhance the model with its knowledge capabilities. So finally, we also need to let in the model to learn how to use tools, right? So in many business scenarios, you have some built-in APIs locally, right? We can wrap it up using MCP protocols and let in the model to learn how to use those tools, use those capabilities intelligently. So in order to support that, we have the Model Studio, right? The Model Studio product is designed to support agent development, right? And at the same time to unleash the capability of the foundation models, achieve all the things I talked about before. So on the other side, and on the Model Studio side, we provide the world-class model service, right? So in order to use different kind of the models, you need a truly capable, highly performant, and cost-efficient kind of the serving model. And Model Studio is the one, right? It's the model you should try to check it out, right? Over the past years, and we globally, right, we have seen that in the past 12 months, the kind of the volume that we serve on a daily basis increased by 15-folds. So globally, we have seen the developer and also the enterprise customers, they are actually so eager to try out the different model, integrate with their business, and using the agents to drive their daily business decisions. So finally, in order to support the foundation model, support the agent development, AI infrastructure is very important. In this AI world, and it creates a new demands for the AI infrastructures. On one side, we need to provide much stronger capabilities, right? We need to have a very powerful computing, so switch from the CPU to GPU. On the other side, the scale is much larger. Right? In the past, we talk about thousands of the GPU. Now we talk about tens of the thousands of hundreds of the thousands of the GPUs have to working together to solve the complex problem. On the other side, we have to involve our AI infrastructure continually to optimize through the model cycle, right? From the data handling itself to the model training, model tuning, and model inferencing, every aspect of the model entire cycles, we need to provide a better support. And finally, we also need to provide a comprehensive support of AI native development applications. So those are the very important kind of the technical innovations we have to drive together. Right, to sum up, I think that the joint innovations of the foundation model and the cloud computing is truly the key for the future success. Right? So accelerating the intelligence transformation in this AI era and with all of you are truly exciting. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zhou, for sharing on our technology stack and AI models. So a short plug before we bring the next speaker. If you want to have a deeper dive into the AI models shared earlier, we have the International Technology and Product Stage in Pavilion A in the afternoon. And also at the same time, tomorrow we have a Global Ignite stage just right across here, where we will showcase 20 international speakers from 10 countries showing their real use cases. All right, and up next, we'll shift our focus to hear real-world impact stories. We'll be inviting 5 global leaders who are turning AI vision into value. Our very first speaker will talk about powering the future of Olympic broadcasting. Please join me to welcome the Chief Technology Officer of Olympic Broadcasting Services, Mr. Sotiris Salamoris.
And OCS working in the...
Good afternoon, dear friends. My name is Sotiris Salamouris, and I am the Chief Technology Officer of Olympic Broadcasting Services and Olympic Channel Services. These are 2 companies that belong to the Olympic movement. Olympic Broadcast Services is the host broadcasting of the Olympic Games, also known as OBS, and Olympic Channel Services is the company which is responsible for delivering the Olympic content to the global audience all year round for all the time before and between the games. Most of them, these 2 companies are extremely engaged with Alibaba, and we're talking about today about the services that Alibaba has provided to us focused on AI. In the end, they all service a common final objective: help our global audience deeper engage with the beauty and excitement of the Olympic sports. But instead of talking too much, let me share now with you a video that will introduce you to the latest works that we have done together with our partner Alibaba Cloud around use of AI, artificial intelligence, in a way to enhance our Olympic storytelling.
With OBS and OCS working in the coverage and digital engagement of the biggest sporting event, it's inevitable that we currently look into the possibilities of technology.
We have innovations in many fronts. Some of them have to do with the visual experience of the final user, so how we project all these data that we have. In that sense, AI is also helping us. So we have introduced a multicam replay where we do the effect of a frozen moment in time and we move around it. We are also doing stroboscopic replays, especially very useful on sports like gymnastics. We have some metrics for serve reaction time in tennis, which gives how fast a tennis player reacts when they are about to receive a serve.
For table tennis, we are introducing the new technology, the AI camera. The sticker actually is to capture the movement of the ball, and then we can see actually from the scene that you can see the track of the ball appear on the image, and also we can see the spin of the ball. So that's really a new thing that come up for this Olympic game. So everyone's super excited about that.
We record the heartbeat of the athletes for archery, and we're the only sport in the Olympics doing it. Typically, the third arrow, the heart rate will go up. So then you see the stress level of the athletes. It's just filming a small part of the face, and that allows them to capture the heart rate. Then, okay, well, the rest is algorithms and probably some AI, and that produces then the heart rate.
The other new thing that we're also introducing for Paris 24 is some augmented graphics. So graphics that tell us things like how high the divers jumped off the dive board, how fast they're traveling when they hit the water. A bit of extra information for the viewer at home to get a sense of exactly what's going on when the diver performs their dive.
We have introduced what we call the object tracking, very useful in a cycling road, rowing, sailing, where we pinpoint the individual athletes in a situation where normally you wouldn't be able to identify them that well, with some tags, some labels that are marking you who is who, and you can have a better idea of what's going on in the race. Some of the things that we are doing as well is automatically generated content from the data and the streams that we are using in order to create faster highlights. So we combine very strong data that is coming from the organizing committee as well as the data that our loggers are introducing, combined with our video feeds, and artificial intelligence can understand what's going on and can offer a set of rough cuts or even highlights as a final product that can be even directly published into social media as a vertical format, a square format, horizontal format.
AI gives you the ability to do that at scale because it can automate this content creation. It can create this kind of highlights in a manner that doesn't require human intervention, apart from some high-level parameters that can be given to the AI platform in order to create this content automatically. We are using AI to allow for a much higher customization of our content that would be possible if we were just using human editors or producers and so on. This video gave you a broad overview of what we already delivered in Paris last year, based on AI technologies predominantly offered by our partner, Alibaba Cloud. From this starting point, we are already in our last preparations for even more extensive deployments that will follow in the Milano Cortina Games and beyond. Alibaba is helping both OBS and OCS with its cloud-based AI technologies to enhance content delivery, viewer experience, and operations efficiency. Let's talk first about the adoption by AI by Olympic Broadcasting Services, the host broadcaster of the Olympic Games. OBS began the use and integration of AI as early as 2018 in the Winter Games of Pyeongchang in Korea. At the same time, by the way, with the beginning of our collaborations with Alibaba. This was not a coincidence. Our partnering with Alibaba was a catalyst that helped us move faster in the AI area. So today, we are among first the earliest, and I would also claim one of the most successful adopters of AI in our industry, in the industry of broadcasting. As of today, OBS is an extensive user of AI-based tools and services, which range from all the way from machine learning to deep learning and to large language models, like, of course, the QN family that was explained before, provided by Alibaba Cloud. Our AI adoption is predominantly guided by three specific objectives. First, enhance the viewer experience. Second, optimize our content production workflows. And third, improve planning and operational efficiency. Let's first talk about enhancing the viewer experience. You saw already in the video some good examples of different visual representations that we can now achieve with the use of AI. AI, as in the use case of the Alibaba multi-camera replay systems that you saw, or the stroboscopic replay, that was also a few examples in our video, essentially analyzes the visual content of a scene, and it can separate the actual sports action for the background and for everything else. Once a particular sport action is isolated, then it can be further analyzed and presented in many different ways, always allowing for a much deeper and better storytelling. Also, another bonus out of this kind of separation, isolation, and analysis is that we can derive all sorts of additional sports-related performance data. For example, heights of jumps, spins of balls, like, for example, in table tennis or in tennis, trajectories of balls, like, for example, in the case of curling, and other features that you can just derive by this independence, this isolation between the actual sports scene or the athlete and everything else. Of course, when this exists, we can allow for a much, much easier sports presentation. We can make the sport much more understandable. And especially in a multi-sport environment like the Games, the Olympic Games, such tools can be tremendously helpful because they can help lesser-known sports become more watched and over time more popular. Another important area where AI is revolutionizing sports broadcasting relates, of course, to sports content repurposing. That is when live content is being reused after or during, sometimes also, the live competition to create additional representations of the sport content. And this can happen while the event is still live, or it can also happen while the event has been stored. Using AI tools supported by Alibaba, we can now tag and classify content in a way that is much more efficiently than ever before. This is the first step if you want to really do content repurposing. Moreover, with computer vision and large language models, we can even interface with the content using natural language, which is again a major enabler when you like to retrieve content that is stored in deep archives. In OBS, with the help of Alibaba Cloud, we have developed several tools which we can collectively call the Automatic Media Description Project, which enhance the speed and accuracy of all the metadata generation that were used for our tagging and content classification purposes, which subsequently allow for all these cool applications when it comes to repurposing content. For example, we can repurpose content by creating automated highlights, create automated story summaries, and so on. Let's now talk about how we are using also LLMs. Sorry. Okay. How we're using also LLMs in the use case of Olympic Channel. A very exciting new initiative together with Alibaba Cloud is the creation of Olympic GPT and several other Olympic AI agents. All of them aim to empower Olympics.com to distribute the content in a way that can be much more effectively discoverable by the end users. So what is the Olympic GPT? Olympic GPT is an LLM chatbot, which is available in Olympics.com, that will allow Olympic fans to ask general questions, request recommendations, or find content within the site, or even from our deep Olympic archive. Olympic GPT will also be accompanied by a number of distinct Olympic AI agents. We can talk about three of them, which are already in the pipeline. An AI-generated article summaries agent, which gives global fans a quick, accessible overview of all the articles that we are publishing in Olympics.com. The snackable insights feature, which dynamically inserts contextual pieces of information as athlete bios, sports history, and key stats within the articles. And also an AI daily recap feature, which provides users with a personalized summary of all the key events, match results, and highlights from the day in Olympics.com. Both the Olympic GPT and the AI agents are currently planned for introduction during the Milano Cortina Games. We talked about what we are currently doing in Olympics.com and for OBS, the host podcast of the Olympic Games, but there is a broader overview which spans towards the future of our collaboration with Alibaba. This is a fundamental part of the IOC strategy when it comes to the use of artificial intelligence in the context of sports. So there is a broader impact when it comes to the use of AI, especially in the case of multi-sports events, where the Olympics, as we know, is the biggest and more complex of all. So what the future is actually bringing us? First of all, the use of AI in the planning and operational workflows, which will hopefully help us reduce the media operations footprint in the future games. From a sports content perspective, AI can also help promote underrepresented sports, lesser-known sports, and athletes through more engaging content on scale, especially with the use of tools that we just showed before. From the side of the viewer of the fan, AI will allow for a much more powerful and sophisticated personalization, which makes content discovery and presentation far easier and far better targeted. So, for the foreseeable future, AI will remain an integral part of the IOC's vision for inspiring and connecting sports fans through sports. Our partnership with Alibaba will remain a strong enabler to this journey. Thank you so much, and see you all in Milano in a few months from now.
Thank you, Mr. Salamoris. I think it's amazing to see such impact that we have on sports and the Olympics. And now I will have a better appreciation next time when I watch the Olympics in 2026. And now our next speaker will speak about scaling impact and driving transformation in China. Please join me to welcome Cluster Chief Technology and Operations Officer at Standard Chartered China and Japan, Mr. Daniel Qiao.
Good afternoon. Today, actually, we are talk about the vision. Talk about vision from vision to value. Actually, everyone, we talk about the vision, especially talk about AI vision. So we talk about vision, they talk about the AGI. Actually, today, Alibaba, they talk about the super intelligent ASI. In Central Bank, we also have our vision for AI power our business. Our group CEO will worded as AI will transform our business model and reshape the future of finance. I'm very happy, more than happy to continually talk about our vision, our future our business model. But we are commercial corporations. So our investor, our client, our employee are asking us what real value AI would bring us today at this moment. So therefore, today I'd like really very honored to share our AI journey and also some of the practice and the thinking on how to transfer AI vision to real business value. Before we embark on the AI journey, I'd like to explain who we are. What kind of business our Central Bank we are doing? Central Bank is one of most systemically critical, important bank. That is one point I especially want to highlight. This means our banking, our business have some real impact our global economies. This means what we do, our operation have very small room for mistake. We have low risk appetite. That's the first point I want to highlight. Second point I want to highlight, Central Bank, we are operating in more than 15 markets, including China. We have been in China operating, never stop our operation for more than 160 years. The diversity of Central Bank, our network really make us uniquely the silver connector for our client. So many markets with so many different cultural, commercial, and regulatory environment. So it poses another challenge for us to adopt AI across all our market in the scale. Few years ago, from the ChatGPT moment, we already realized the huge potential from large language model. So we start invest for AI technology. The first things we are doing, actually, I guess most of you will do the same, is the general AI office tools to boost our productivity for our staff. Then we also to enable our development for our coding to make sure to make their work more efficient from the coding to orchestrating. But all these kind of the two business cases, actually, as you can see, is quite general across all our industry. It's not specific to banking industry. When we really think to start to embed AI into our banking process, we got stuck. We faced the challenge. As you have seen in the MIT report, the quite recent report, they talk 95% of the generative AI pilot actually are failing from the pilot to production. The number sounds a bit exaggerating, but we do share same kind of the challenge. So for our banking operations, normally we have some people know our operation role is normally separated into maker role and the checker role. Our initial thinking, our intuitive thinking is can we replace our maker with the AI? But soon we realize it is not realistic at this moment. For example, we have so many key information we need extract from the scattered document. We have tried many in the market, very advanced solution, AI solution, include end-to-end VL model-based solution. We also tried the pipeline OCR solution. The accuracy of result actually still could not meet our expectation. It's below the accuracy level. Actually, is lower than our human makers. Also, human mistake. Everyone maybe know. So, the human mistake normally are within some spaces, but AI mistake can be anywhere, unpredictable. That make our checker work even harder to find all this kind of mistake. So it replace our checker is not option. It's no way. So we started to think about how can we edit AI to our each process as assistants. So we also realized there's not much room to plug the current AI into our existing standard process, because our current process actually is well defined for human only and highly performed by human. So replacement it seems not possible. And the assistants not work. We have to sit down to think the whole thing again. How could we really deliver AI value for our specific banking industry value? This is our thinking outcome. Also, it's our best practice throughout all our AI journey. I directly go to the second point. Actually, we just talk about process challenge. How to address this process challenge for banking special this industry. Actually, our solution is we have to redesign and even revamp entire our process to allow room for AI and the machine coexisting. Assign the task to AI or human for their specific strengths. We name it co-intelligent AI native process. Get back to the first point. Any successful AI project have to be business-led with very specific and clear value target. Last but definitely not least, high quality data is always important to ensure persistent performance, AI performance. When business process data ready, it's turned to technology for engineering as a solution. In Standard Chartered Bank, we built our AI platform as the AI foundation. For quite some time, we talk about AI. It's a term for scientists. It's something coming from the labs to really deliver AI value. We deliver AI value. We probably have to turn our innovation method to production method. Give AI to products designer and engineer, from labs to factories. That's the reason why we name our AI platform to AI factory, meaning AI is produced at the functioning at the industrial level rather than still artisanal level. When we build in order to achieve all this kind of capability, when we design the AI platform, AI factory, we keep this key feature in our mind. AI capability, number one, AI capability are standardized and modularized. Our AI platform develop, pre-design, and develop this AI capability, which are used by our AI enablement team as the functional blocks, same like Lego block. That is the first feature we have to bear in mind. So all this kind of the atomized AI capability can be reused across all our many different business cases. So that it really can cut down our development cost, and also really accelerate our speed to market, the AI value delivery. Third one, our AI safety control at the scaling level, a standard should be built into this AI capability. It's really to make them truly scalable across all our market that we just talked about. In order to really we build this platform with all these features. As a bank, we need the support and the products from technology communities. We see Alibaba as our one of most important partner in technology community. With all this kind of AI capability from Alibaba, they really can empower this AI journey in the banking industry. The three areas they can play the big role. Foundation model, especially their quintessentially open source model, is well fit for on-premise deployment and for AI solution. Second one, models still there. We can imagine how powerful if we embed entire their model still into our AI factory. You can imagine how powerful it would be. The last one, definitely not least, the Alibaba have very strong the AI technology expertise with abundance. We call that they are forward deployed engineers. All this kind of AI capability from Alibaba is definitely will accelerate entire banking industry to really translate their AI vision to real business value for their client and employees. We look forward We really look forward to more more cooperation with Alibaba and its entire AI ecosystem. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Chow, on your insights on AI as a strategy. And for our next session, we'll hear about how SAP enables MNCs to thrive globally on Alibaba Cloud. Please join me to welcome our next speaker, EVP and CTO of SAP Enterprise Cloud Services, Mr. Lalit Patel.
Hello, everyone. Warm welcome from my side. It's a pleasure to be here in the first Apsara event for me. It's amazing whatever I have seen throughout the day, and it's great to see such a large audience. What I want to share with you today is how is SAP partnering with Alibaba Cloud, trying to enable not only multinational companies, but some of the largest companies in the world, and how are we transforming businesses around the world with the use of our platform. For the ones, if you are wondering what is SAP, SAP is the #1 business software company in the world, and it powers some of the most important business processes of the largest companies. So just to give you a statistic, 77% of the total business transactions that run in the world today, independent of where you are, is running through an SAP system. And that's how much we touch the entire planet with our software. And some of the speakers, their companies also run SAP, so very glad to see how they are evolving in their journey. But before I go a little bit into the details of how are we going to power some of the multinational companies? I want to share very quickly on what is SAP's strategy, right? Right at the core of our strategy is Cloud ERP. I think this is our flagship. This is what we provide to our customers. This is where most of the business processes are running for our customers. And you see Business Data Cloud. Business Data Cloud is a cloud which is ensuring that all the data that flows through your company, through your SAP systems, and for that matter, even non-SAP systems, is all basically provided to your consumers, to your users in a semantically rich format, and thereby giving you that data that you need to power any AI strategy that you have with your company. But what we are also really very popular for, and where a lot of our customers use our products, is a lot of these business processes, right from finance management, going to supply chain management, customer experience, human resources, be whatever process it may be, you would have SAP products powering those business processes. And all of that business processes today are connected through our AI agents. And like every other company having an AI strategy, we just heard the AI story from Standard Chartered. SAP is also powering through their business processes, through our products, that entire AI-enabled product portfolio. So whether you are running a supply chain system, whether you are doing purchase order-based processing, you are trying to, having your hiring process, behind each of that, we are powering through our software, your AI journey, and you are going to get that business transformation as a service at your fingertips. And that's what we call it as the business suite. And that's basically how we want to really change the future of enterprise management through our product portfolio. And what you see at the bottom, what powers all of that, what powers all of our SAP portfolio, is our business technology platform. BTP as a short form, and that is basically gluing all of our product portfolio items and ensuring that you not only get insights to your SAP data, but also then your non-SAP data. And with that, also powering all the newer scenarios like Business Data Cloud and so on. So BTP, in conjunction with Business Data Cloud, and all the different portfolio items. I think that is how we want to really enable your enterprise and basically make your enterprise management journey AI powered and really successful. So what do we do to unlock that business suite in the market? We have got two main services that we offer as part of our portfolio. One is Rise with SAP, and the second is Grow with SAP. And why two different services? Because we want to cover the entire spectrum of our customer personas. With Rise with SAP, we basically target existing SAP ERP customer base, which have been running SAP legacy environments, and we want to really provide with Rise with SAP that service which is going to ensure that while they are moved to the cloud, we also provide a lot of flexibility when it comes to their ERP systems and so on. And Grow with SAP, it's our SaaS solution, which is mainly positioned towards net new ERP customers. It's for our customers which require the flexibility, but also the scalability of a SaaS environment. So independent of where you are in that spectrum, we have you covered with industry-leading applications and services with Rise with SAP and Grow with SAP. So independent of your journey, independent of what kind of business processes you are running, the business suite will be powered through these two solutions, and with the business technology platform powering all the scenarios that you are basically looking at. Now, we are living in a new normal, right? I think there is a lot happening in the world today. As we are getting more and more international, there are a lot of challenges that we are also seeing. And challenges are not only limited to geopolitical challenges, it is also supply chain challenges. We are seeing, a lot of scalability partnerships that are being forged with multiple companies, which means that you also need to be flexible in your specific business processes. So what we see is as much, and it's actually quite a paradox, as we are getting more and more global, there are also cross-border restrictions which are coming in, right? You need to have local data residency, you need to have that security, and laws are evolving by the day. And I'm pretty sure independent of which company you are, you know exactly what I mean, right? Then there is a huge demand into localization. Localization not only from a software perspective, but localization from an expertise standpoint. So do you have the right teams? Are they part of the country where your business processes are running? So it's very important to have local IT ops and services for that. And of course, the geopolitical tensions, I mean, the world is really getting crazier by the day. I think there are newer partnerships, there are newer restrictions being launched. And what you need is, while businesses need integration on a global level, you need to have localized instances of your environment. And it's also true whenever it comes to SAP-based deployments as well, right? And I think these are the new normals that we see in the world today, and it's also a big issue or a big challenge for the multinational companies, but also for a lot of Chinese companies. A lot of Chinese companies which are global in nature, they also want to have their footprint around the world. And I think these are the challenges that they would have to navigate through as well. And I think this is exactly the reason why we have made a very strategic partnership with Alibaba, one of the industry leaders here when it comes to infrastructure and a technological innovation in China, and SAP being the market leaders when it comes to enterprise business software. So it's the best of both the worlds. When we announced that partnership, and you see a quote from our CEO, Christian, here, it's a testament to the power and the flexibility of cloud solutions, while also leveraging the tremendous scalability and the technological prowess that Alibaba is bringing in. So it's that partnership that you could leverage now in order to navigate through your business transformation. And how are we going to do that? I think I spoke a little bit about the challenges earlier. When we talk about local data residency, The partnership with Alibaba is going to provide fully local solutions, compliant and certified SAP Cloud based approach, which will be running on Alibaba Cloud. So all that you basically expect from a global hyperscaler. I'm pretty sure some of you are using a lot of global hyperscalers. You are going to get similar capabilities. And on top of that capabilities, you will have the full spectrum of the SAP portfolio running on that. So you will have local data residency, and you will have a certified and a compliant offering, which will be part of the local regulations. Then there is local IT operations and services, a fully out-of-the-box integration of not only SAP products, but also a lot of other platforms. I mean, when you are using Alibaba, you have platforms like WeChat, DingDing. You will also have that kind of integration together with the SAP portfolio to give you that end-to-end business process coverage that you are looking at. Then there is, of course, localized support. So we will have teams in China which are going to manage your environment. We will have a close collaboration with Alibaba teams, and we will work in partnership to provide you that service for the entire stack. And of course, there will be local IT advisory, cyber security expertise, and what you would need to maintain that entire stack. And the last point being a globally integrated local instance. We see a lot of multinational companies having a centralized environment when it comes to SAP business processes. But because of all the challenges that I was talking about, you need to have a local instance in China. And you will get through our services that local instance at the same time integrated to your global environment, which means that it will share the same data model. You will have comprehensive financial information flowing from your central instance to your local deployment and vice versa, and seamless integration when it comes to business process integration and real-time analytics. So all of our business AI-based innovations will be powered through those environments. And then you will also have tools like the BDC, which will provide you flexibility in data exchange, at the same time give you that insights into not only SAP, but your non-SAP based data sources as well. And that's what you get as part of the partnership with Alibaba Cloud. So as you can see, it's a very tighter integration. Like I mentioned, the best of both worlds, where we basically partner with some of the biggest players in China, and we bring in that expertise when it comes to business processes, enterprise applications, and actually data management as well. So when exactly are we going to launch our different services, right? I think you see business technology platform, it is available today as well in China. You are able to use that today. We have SAP Cloud ERP to be released in Q1 2026. So you would get that full spectrum that I was talking about when it comes to enterprise software. We have IBP, or Integrated Business Planning, also going to be launched side by side with Cloud ERP. And then the ERP Cloud, so the RISE with SAP, which will be launched in Q3 2026. So I think by next year in multiple quarters, you are going to get enablement of a lot of these solutions that we have as part of our SAP portfolio, and that collectively is going to power your business processes for your specific industries. So I think that is what I wanted to share with you today, what kind of partnership that we are planning to do with Alibaba Cloud. I think with this partnership, we are entering a really new phase where not only you are going to get insights into our innovations, but also with that partnership with Alibaba, we are really going to leverage their scalability. We are going to leverage their secure platform. And finally, also the stability that your business processes would need. Right? So I think this is something that I wanted to share with you today. And I hope that this would also open new doors for your businesses, at the same time remaining compliant and secure as is needed by the local regulations here. Thank you very much for your attention today. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Patel, for sharing some of the plans and your digital transformation journey. Our next speaker will be talking about from local context to global impact, how Original Enterprise builds an AI-powered business innovation engine with Alibaba Cloud. Please join me to welcome the CEO of Mercari, Mr. Suwandi So.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here. This is my first Apsara as well. I'm impressed with what I saw in Pavilion 1 to 3 earlier today. So hope to share something with you and hopefully you can bring some value from today's presentations. So let me begin by introducing myself. My name is Suwandi. I am the co-founder and CEO of Mercari. If earlier we heard from SAP, the cloud ERP, so we are similar with them. We are the cloud ERP for SMB in a developing market. So earlier we heard from the experience of Olympic committees, heard from experience from banks, from enterprises solutions. I would like to share a different point of view. We would like to share a bit about how technology, software and AI can help a nation by equipping the technology to the SMBs, someone or the business that is more resonant with our families or our friends, all the SMBs that we have. So to give you context of today's presentations, it's important to learn about a little bit about Indonesia. So Indonesia is currently the 16th largest economy in the world, a member of G20, and economists, analysts are projecting Indonesia to be one of the top 10 largest economy by 2035. So that's 10 years from now. And the key drivers of the growth, among others, domestic consumptions and resilient entrepreneurs within its domestic economy. And currently, there are more than 60 million registered business entities in Indonesia, 60 million. And if we categorize them by scale, you can see that at the top of the pyramid, there are around 10,000 large companies, enterprises, and the MNCs. They are productive, innovative, and for sure efficient. In contrast, at the bottom of the pyramid, there are around 60 million of micro businesses. They are super inefficient, super non-productive. They are here out of necessity. Actually, they are in survival mode. Most of the employees, I would say like almost all of them, and majority of the business owners in the micro businesses actually earn less than the typical employees in the enterprise segment. So it is very difficult for them, for the micro businesses, to get opportunities from the large companies and enterprises. There are a few reasons. One being there are just a handful of them, like 10,000 in Indonesia economy. So still very small compared to what opportunities the markets or the economy needed. Secondly, there are also a significant skill gap between what the skills and capabilities that all the enterprises and MNC needs and what is available at the bottom of the pyramids. And between them actually is the most important and most critical segment in our opinion. So the SMB or small and medium enterprises. Currently, they are quite significant and sizable. There are almost 1 million of them. But today, we would like to call them the missing middle. They are missing because, we call them missing because they are performing not at, like still very far from their full potential. So they are still have like a significant gap to compare between what they are offering today, what they are delivering to what they can deliver. And they are also missing because the government are busy supporting the micro businesses and most of the international players are busy supporting the enterprises. So they are somewhat invisible in the market. But they are very important. They are very critical for Indonesia economy. If they don't grow or if they are stagnant, the country's economic growth remains limited or maybe stagnant as well. So might as well trap in the low or middle income trap forever. So we think that this is the very important segment. That's why we would like to try to improve and deliver a product or build a product that can help them improve better. And the reason why they cannot grow better, grow further, in our opinion, is because of the ceiling problem. We are seeing more and more SMBs in Indonesia actually have outgrown the products that they use. The resources, the capabilities, the skills, the tools, the people that they have somewhat help them grow to this point, but now they need something more like a productivity breakthrough. Otherwise, they will be stuck in that segment forever. So we make it our mission, again, to empower the progress of business and professional, and we would like to start with this segment, the most important segment, the SMB. We begin our journey by providing point solutions or point SaaS. We have HR solutions, finance, CRM, tax, and sales. Today, our product is being used by more than 30,000 SMBs in Indonesia and more than 2 million active users on our platform. And it is locally built. All of our products built locally in Indonesia to serve Indonesia market at the moment. Yeah. And today we are also very excited nowadays. In the past, especially since the hype of AI, now we are seeing firsthand. Before AI, we have experienced how our customers leapfrogging from no processes, no formal processes, no data, no structure into structured SaaS solutions. Today, it's a different world. Everybody is talking about AI and everyone is excited. And in fact, Indonesia is actually the top 3 ChatGPT users in the world. In Asia Pacific, sorry. In Asia Pacific, Indonesia is the 3rd largest in Asia Pacific. And for us, it's very exciting because now we can figure out how we can help our customers grow further using AI. There are several approaches that we are using today, but because the adoptions of chat-like or chat interface is more popular within the market, so the first step, the first product that we introduced to the market 1.5 years ago is about the Irene or the chatbot that enable our users, our customers, to chat with our chatbot to understand the product, the P&L or the financial statement better. Like for example, they can ask the bot, the AI bot, about how's the business performance so far and what are the top 3 priorities for them. What we do is basically to compile all the data and then do a benchmark using LLMs, using some proprietary database to benchmark against the standard. So we know exactly, like if you are in F&B sector, it means that your profit margin should be like this. If you are performing below that, then what area you need to fix. And it's the same thing if you are in service sectors, if you are in education sector, whatever it is, you will have some ideas from the AI bot about what you need to improve. So that's the first step for us to get into these AI solutions. But we believe like providing this will help our customers to grow and to be more profitable. The second step, after we have delivered the AI solution for our customers in accounting products, we also help them with the experience of using AI to improve the performance of their employees. Like, because you need to have like a good understanding of your performance based on your feedback from your peers, sometimes it's very difficult to understand what area I need to improve, what are my weakness, and how I can perform to reach my best or to reach my potentials. So we help them with our AI bot to help them summarize all the feedback that they get from the peers so that they can understand let's say the 3 key steps to improve their own performance. So that's the AI bot that we have. That's the first phase of the company. Nowadays, of course, with the availability of agentic AI, the agentic approach to AI solutions, we are also trying to deploy agents to help our customers to achieve their best performance. Like for example, nowadays we have our own chatbot that our customers can interact throughout the system called Irene. Now the end users of our customers can actually inquire something, and through the use of agentic tools, through the use of MCP, we are enabling our customers to simplify and to improve all the business process down to the back office operations. So not only to interact like, hey, do you have this product? Yes, we check we have, but it can actually help the customers to prepare the invoice or prepare the purchase quotations or sales quotation if that is needed. So there are a few things that we are now playing around in trying to experimenting what works for Indonesia and what works for SMB. And we have been working with Alibaba Cloud in the past 2 to 3 years, not only by working in terms of having a scalable and also reliable infrastructure. Nowadays, we are also working with Alibaba Cloud team to try to figure out the most effective way to deliver AI solution to our customers, including, for sure, using the Queen as the start. Several improvements that we are seeing in the operations, including the cost saving and also the performance improvement in our service. Yeah, and lastly, I think for a market like Indonesia, the developing market like Indonesia, especially for SMBs or even for the micro businesses, what important is how the technology can be more accessible, how the technology can be more relevant to the market. And we are happy that we can work together with partners like Alibaba Cloud in this journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. So, for showcasing the innovative capabilities you have in Indonesia. And our next speaker, he'll talk about the bleeding edge of AI development. He'll talk about the API of everything, how Open Router and Alibaba Cloud empower the future of AI development. Please join me to welcome COO of Open Router, Mr. Chris Clark.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to talk a bit about Open Router, the Quen models in particular, what we're seeing, and what we do. Have people used Open Router? Is anybody familiar? A couple of people? A few hands? All right, excellent. My developers in the audience. That's terrific. So a little bit about the thesis behind Open Router. What do we think is going to happen in the future? Well, over the coming years, we think that token cost, inference cost, is going to become a dominant operating expense for companies all over the world, right? Today, largely, OpEx is dominated for many sort of knowledge firms by headcount. As agents come online, as we start using more services like some of the folks that have talked about today, right? That cost for AI inference will start to really balloon and become a dominant expense. And for some companies, they're already there today, some AI native startups. We also think the future is multi-model. This is not particularly controversial today, but a year ago, before we saw DeepSeek, before the proliferation of a lot of amazing open source models, this wasn't totally obvious, right? It wasn't necessarily clear that the winners would just accrue to a couple of major labs, but it's clear now looking out that when you go visit the model zoo in 2028 or whatever, there's going to be a lot of different exhibits with a lot of different types of models there. So we believe that the future is very multi-model, where we have different models for different use cases, for different workloads, et cetera. And then as a result of this, we think that sourcing and orchestrating and sort of connecting inference back to business value is going to be an extremely horizontal opportunity, one that's not necessarily domain specific, but everybody is going to have to sort of turn on the tap and tokens come out, right? And everyone is going to have that problem. But what we want you to do is simply turn on the tap and tokens come out, and you can focus on your business and not worry about where they come from or where you're sourcing them or whether they meet your requirements. We'll help you do all of that and make sure that it's available all the time. So we are a small company by headcount. We're fewer than 20 people. But by token scale, we're actually getting to be a decent size. Also, notably, every single slide in this entire presentation is already out of date because I made it 2 weeks ago, right? And so already, like, everything is new, right? So monthly token run rate now north of 15 trillion monthly tokens, so trillions and trillions of tokens every month. We work with 60 different cloud providers and model labs. Probably most folks don't even know that there are 60 different cloud providers and model labs, but there's a huge growth of neo clouds who are focused on serving inference, a difficult business. Alibaba Cloud being one of those in particular that we work with. 500 different models, 2 million developers all around the world, a very global business. What do we actually do, though? I've talked a little bit about like some numbers and things. What do we do? Well, we are a marketplace and aggregator for LLMs. So we give you a single API, a single interface, a single billing relationship to interact with any of those 500 models, any of those 60 different cloud providers. So if you are a developer and you want to use LLMs to build a new agent, to power some workflow, to experiment, to do code generation, or if you're using an open source project that requires you to bring your own inference, you can go to OpenRouter, deposit credits, and those credits are fungible across any of those models, any of those labs, and we're going to automatically do failover and uptime improvement for you. We're going to allow you to state what your privacy policies are, to only go to providers that match those privacy policies, right? And we also aggregate all of this data. So we are fairly quickly being viewed as the canonical source of how models are performing in industry. So benchmarks are great. We've seen lots and lots of things around benchmarks, but ultimately, are developers using the model, right? What are they using it for? How is it being categorized? What are the workloads that are most suitable to each different model? And OpenRouter, you can go to our site. We publish all this data. It's all live. It's being aggregated daily. Helps you understand which workloads and which models are sort of a good match, right? And we're going to do more and more of this over time. But we have a really unique global viewpoint on how model usage is actually being done in the real world, not based on benchmarks. So we provide not just usage data, but also real-time monitoring of all of these providers. And for a given model, like here, this example, right, we have Qwen 3 Coder 480B. Very popular. We'll look at the popularity in a second. Obviously, from Alibaba, has come on really strong. There's a lot of different, this is an open weight model, right? So there's a whole lot of different clouds and providers that run this model and allow you to get and source these tokens. Well, we'll monitor them for uptime. We'll let you know how they're each performing. But what's really interesting, I think a little bit underappreciated, or maybe a lot underappreciated, everyone talks about model selection, like which model should I pick for my workload? What's going to work the best? Well, the model is like maybe half or 2/3 of the story. Ultimately, the product and the thing you're interacting with is that specific deployment of that specific model, right? The model weights define sort of the capabilities of it and the intelligence in a vacuum, but if you have a model that is deployed running at 60 tokens per second, and you have the same model deployed running at 1,000 tokens per second, those are actually dramatically different products, right? One of them is probably cheaper than the other, but one of them you can, at 1,000 tokens a second, like I can put that in the hot path of rendering a web page, right? I can do real-time personalization to users. At 60 tokens a second, I can't do that, but it's still very suitable for all sorts of agentic workflows where performance and real-time is not as big of a deal. So ultimately, like we provide not only all those different models, but the different deployments of those models to match whatever you need to accomplish in your business. Our customers, we break up into 3 different groups. And you can think of our business as working with pretty evenly across these 3. The first are our enthusiasts and our developers. These are folks who need to like bring their inference to an open source project where they might be, or they're using an IDE and doing code gen, and they need to source tokens, and so they'll bring an OpenRouter key to do that. They care about the selection. They often care about using what's on the frontier and what's new. They care about the API compatibility. Next, AI native startups. So a lot of these companies sort of grow out of nowhere. These are everything you read about where it's like went from 0 to $5 million to $100 million in run rate practically overnight. Often 80% or 90% of their operating expense is in fact tokens and inference. And in some cases, if they're doing 50 million in run rate, their token cost is actually like 60 million, right? And they're in a little bit of a bind, where they might actually be losing money on inference, and that's a problem too. Well, we work with a lot of these companies and help them grow so that they don't need to think about like quota management, especially as you're getting off the ground. Like it's actually not always easy to call these large cloud providers and get them on the phone and say, hey, I need to provision more throughput or something like that. So we will actually help you manage quota and rate limits, even help you in a purchasing process if you do want to go direct. And you can basically, again, not worry about where tokens are coming from, but simply build your business, focus on your unique value, and we'll help you make sure that we can scale up the inference behind you. And then lastly, traditional enterprises. So a lot of the companies here today. And what we often see in traditional enterprises is that we get brought in bottoms up. So we're a self-service platform, we're a developer platform, and what happens is developers know about us, they might have used us for a side project or seen us somewhere, and then will show up and start using us on an internal project or an internal team, and then we inevitably get a phone call from the procurement department saying like, hey, we have a team using you, like who are you guys, we've never heard of you. Like, do you have a data privacy policy? Like, what's going on, right? So that's how we often get brought into larger organizations. And I think on that note, right, the reason the business is working is because we are developer first and developers love us. And the shift that we're seeing for AI, right, and how AI is being adopted in organizations is like really different for people who've been around a little while than how like the cloud transition happened, right? The way the cloud transition happened was sort of a lot of enterprises were sort of dragged into it, like kicking and screaming, right? That's not what's happening with AI. What's happening is we have CEOs all over saying, you will use AI, you will figure out use cases, you will adopt this technology, right? And that's a very different adoption pattern than what we've seen in prior technology shifts. So as a result, this developer-first approach really works. And we saw that stat earlier, about 95% of AI projects fail. Yeah, I think that could definitely be true, but I don't know that it's measuring the right thing. The organizations that have had success with AI have given the capability to their employees and asked them to go figure out how to make things work. And when you give people tools, they'll figure out how to be effective with those tools, right? And tops-down AI projects do often fail, but bottoms up, we've seen a lot of success, and I think really speaks to the power of what we're doing at OpenRouter. So I had lunch with some of the Qwen and Alibaba Cloud folks earlier, and they said, we got a great compliment from one of our customers in the form of a complaint, which said, you're releasing models too fast, we can't keep up, which I think is very true of Qwen. The speed and breadth of the Qwen models, I mean, you can't even read this, right? There's just so, and by the way, again, out-of-date slide. This week at OpenRouter, we've onboarded 6 new Qwen models onto the platform just this week. So the speed and breadth of the Qwen offering is truly impressive. And I think over time, we can sort of hear the vision from the Alibaba Cloud and Qwen folks. They want to move the needle on how much global inference is running in open versus closed source. So this is our data, right? Orange, we have proprietary closed source model. Blue, we have open source models. It's sort of amazing that this is like relatively flat. I mean, it's lumpy, but it's like sort of flat. And if you think about this, the growth that we've seen in our business from some of those previous charts, it's sort of amazing. It's like as flat as it is. We, from our perspective, would love to see a really rich and robust open source ecosystem. By the way, this is our data. It is not representative of like the truth, right? Because I do think one of the advantages of open source is, of course, that you can use that as a jumping off point for fine tunes and for proprietary models. And there's a huge number of those deployments that we don't see because we don't do that. That's not our business. So I suspect globally the story here might be a bit different. But I think that we will having a really rich open source ecosystem is something that we're extremely interested in. And I've found the Qwen models really exciting. And if we look at what's happened, right? Qwen sort of coming out of nowhere here. This is again our usage data. And all of a sudden, starting this summer, like Qwen is cooking. Like here we go. Here it comes, right? The Qwen usage has just absolutely gone to the moon here. And what's really interesting about Qwen also is that if you look at these bars, right, we have this blue and orange. So this is Qwen Coder in blue. Some of the instruct models, Qwen 30B in orange, 235B in sort of the teal. People are using a lot of different Qwen models, and this is really unusual typically we sort of see model labs as like a hit-driven business where they have one thing that like really works. So to see all these Qwen models coming on so strong is really unusual. And we've also seen Qwen perform really well in coding. So this is our market share of coding and programming use cases. Yellow here, it's a bit hard to see, but we have Qwen sort of trundling along, and then all of a sudden it's starting to take meaningful market share amongst both closed and open source for programming. So just super impressive performance. And I think also underscores like why developers and companies find OpenRouter so valuable. Like this is not something you could have seen coming, right? And it would have been easy to like sign some sort of like long locked-in contract with someone else or another model lab, and all of a sudden you're going to say, shoot, I want to use this, and I might not have access to it. So again, having that flexibility has proven really valuable to our customers. So last, I just want to talk a bit about the market provider share. So this is, again, an area chart of who is providing Qwen models. I haven't labeled these because it's not super important for the purposes of this. But like every one of these lines or areas is a different provider of Qwen models, the exact same model. Really tough business, right? You are providing an open weight model alongside all of these competitors, and you have this interesting dynamic where a GPU that is fully idle you'd rather have it be at least like 50% or selling it at a negative 50% margin rather than having sitting idle and at zero, right? So you have this like race to the bottom dynamic around model providers of open weight models. So a few ways that we see model providers distinguishing themselves is around data policy, privacy, geography, and data residency. Really important to understand deeply what providers are and aren't doing with prompts. Also, of course, price, latency, so time to first token, throughput, which functionally ends up being time to last token, but then also parameter support and tool calling accuracy. One of the reasons that I think we've seen so many charts that are just like up and to the right is because the shift from chat-based modalities to agentic modalities drives token consumption massively, and that's really predicated on tool calling. So those are some of the ways that these various providers can distinguish themselves, but it's a very competitive market that we're excited to help companies source from models like Qwen, and we hope that family of models continues to grow. And if you haven't tried OpenRouter, I recommend you do. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Clark, for the valuable insight. Okay, my name is Febria. I lead the Global Hackathon and Competition Program. Same with OpenRouter that already shared earlier. They are focused more on developer first. It's the same approach as our Alibaba Cloud, where we also happily supporting innovation from developer globally. As we mentioned earlier in the beginning, we already announced the sports hackathon that will happen later this year. Now, we will continue to the next panel sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, the next sessions is called the Engine Room, Open Infrastructure for Global Innovations. As AI scale across industries and regions, open and scalable infrastructure has become the foundation of global innovations. This panel will explore how cloud, compute, and open ecosystem are empowering developers, startups, and enterprises to build the next generation of AI. Moderating this conversation is Mr. Hauran Wang, Director of the AI Innovation Capability Center at Alibaba Cloud International. And joining him on stage, Mr. Edwin Lee, Chief Technology Officer of Flux, Mr. Mahmoud, President for Middle East and North Africa at APCO, and Mr. Fong Jin-man, Chief Executive Officer of YTL AI Labs. Let us now hear their perspective on fostering collaborations of AI development. Please give them a round of applause.
Well, yeah, thank you to attend this meeting. And I think let's just have a very great opportunity. We can have this discussion about for the new foundation models and how it can give the impacts for the whole industry. I think before that, let's just maybe you can do some self-introduction first. Maybe Edwin, please.
Okay. So hello everyone. I'm Edwin, and I am CTO of Flux. Basically, we are an AI consulting company in Japan, and we provide AI solutions for enterprises, and also we work them with multiple latitudes. So we do projects and we develop models. And also, actually, we have a research branch with the University of Tokyo. So we did some research with large language models. We released some papers with them. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good afternoon, and what an amazing energy I see in this place. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Ma'moun Sbayh. I'm the regional president for APCO in the Middle East and North Africa. We are an advisory firm in public advocacy and in corporate communication. And also, we advise on policy. So we're not really an AI company, but we work with AI companies and organizations like Alibaba Cloud and governments in the Middle East and corporations on understanding the space they work on and how to engage with it.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jiman. I'm the CEO of ITL AI Labs. And what we do is that we build sovereign AI. Specifically, we have a large language model that we develop in collaboration with the University of Malaysia. The 1.0, we built it from ground up. The 0.1 version was built on Qianwen. And beyond that, we also use large language model in a digital bank that we own as well. It's called the Right Bank, which I'm the chief product officer there as well.
Okay, great, thank you. Maybe I can also introduce myself first. My name is Haoran. Currently, I'm the director of the AI Innovation Capability Center, and I also do some pre-sale solutions for all of the overseas opportunities, especially in the different industries like financial, retail, manufacturing, government, and so on. So I think let's just move to the first topic first. And it is about the AI path for your local region. And actually from the vantage point for Japan, MENA, and Southeast Asia. So what do you think is that what's the most significant trend and challenge that you are observing in how the organizations are adopting and utilizing AI? So what distinguishes the AI landscape in your respective markets? I think let me just invite Jimon. We just meet again, right? So maybe you can just share some of your insights first.
Thanks, Haoran. In fact, Haoran helped us a lot throughout our journey of creation of the large language model. One of the main things about Southeast Asia is the fact that it is multicultural and multi-language, and which make it a challenge. Even in government in Malaysia, there exist documents and other artifacts that are multi-language and which makes it very challenging in the models that are developed either in the US or in China, simply because US and China are reasonably single lingo, and especially when you have 3 languages within a same sentence, and that's pretty normal in countries like Malaysia or Singapore. So that is one of the big challenge in Malaysia.
Yes, that's for some mixed dialects just in the same time, and usually if we just use the language to do some fine tunes, actually we just either to choose English or Chinese or specific local language. But in case there is some mixed one, it may have some challenge. So by the way, maybe you can share something more about how you just fix this one or you conquer these challenges.
So it's very interesting, right?
Yeah.
And you are right, everything is about training data. So how do you get good at a single a multilingual type of environment is simply have a lot of sentences that has like 3 or 4 languages in it, or have one document that has 3 or 4 languages in it. And you can see one of the, for example, one of the bigger use cases that we have is that we use it for coaching. For example, you coach a Malay-speaking person into English, which means that the large language model have to understand not very accurate English that is based on Malay. So that is, which means that you have to have a lot of those kind of data. And the good thing is that we also have a lot of those kind of data in forums and whatnot. The whole point of highly contextualized large language model like Ilmu, which is the large language model that we produce, is that you get to over-index a lot on Malaysian data.
Yes, quite interesting that, let me just try to understand. From the pre-trained phase, actually we need to also build some successes data because we don't have sufficient one. But I'm also a little bit interested with, so how about outputs? So will the outputs will also be mixed language, or usually it could be just for a specific one?
That's a very good question, and this is why we actually had to build a large language model from ground up. Is because in order to make it good, the pre-trained data has to have multilingual capability. So we have a lot of multilingual capability in the pre-training front. And surprisingly, in the SFT front, the supervised fine-tuning front, then you start having single language, because otherwise your large language model will randomly spit out like different languages all the time, which can be problematic. So it's very interesting things that we had to do. At first we didn't know, but these are through like many experimentations.
Thank you, fantastic. So now let's maybe go to Mr. Mamoon. I know that you also built some rich consultancy experience, especially on the public affairs and also some public communication parts. So for your perspective, so what do you think about maybe the challenge, also some of the definition of these new trends, and what's the expectation from the public affairs, and what do you think that your kinds of offering can definitely just leverage this kind of and build some more values to the customers?
Well, the biggest challenge we faced in our industry has to do with understanding the societal changes in our community. You're talking about multiple languages. In the Arabic world, we have, just so you know, Arabic language has 12 million words. English has 600,000. So for us to be able to create models that understand the hundreds of dialects that exist from the Gulf all the way to Morocco is a significant challenge. This has not been yet resolved, just to be clear. So when governments and organizations try to monitor and understand, to be able to engage better with their societies, they're working extremely hard to develop models that understand nuances and languages. And those models that are being built, by the way, I just want to be clear, in the Middle East, they are what we call partner agnostic, meaning they would work with whoever can solve this problem with them. But also they want to create models, and they're starting to build models that are Arabic first. And this is now in the growth zone, but hasn't yet achieved its ultimate objective. Also, they want to work with partners who give them what I believe data sovereignty and AI sovereignty in the regions that they work on. It's an extremely ambitious region. It is now embarking in a new era of growth. They're investing heavily in AI, not as a tool, but as a driver of their progress and a driver of their future development. And therefore, they see it a little bit differently as from a Western society. They see it at the front line. That's why UAE has the very first minister of AI that ever been created in 2017. And this is not for PR purposes, because they see AI as a minister, as somebody who sits with them and helps them build their countries. So the future, so the challenge from our perspective is to help them understand what's happening in their various societies. Second, to create this advisory context that needs to advise those governments and advise those companies like Alibaba Cloud, what is happening in the region, keep their finger on the pulse, This is something that we're working on. For APCO, for example, we've created our own model, our own super agent that understands what's happening in the society and advises government live on what they need to do and say.
Yes, I think for the government, they also have so much security concerns and even some political concerns. So we want to at least that to align with the whole policy and also maybe some of the same purpose with that, right?
Well, let me just comment on that.
Yeah.
The Middle East sits in the middle. That's called Middle East.
Okay.
And it sits in the middle of politics. There is huge polarity and polarization happening in the world. And therefore, they can see, they are witnessing this transformation of the world from the G7 to the E7, from the great economies or great power, political powers to the great economic powers. They don't want to be aligned with anybody. They want to be agnostic to whoever partners with them. They want a partner who helps them build their own sovereign know-how and sovereign data and sovereign data centers and computing power. And therefore, they are trying, to navigate this very, very complex world that we live in. And they want to build their countries faster than anybody else.
Yeah.
One just example, Abu Dhabi has announced a year ago that by 27, they will be the very first AI native government. This means that everything that's government, in terms of government services, will be AI driven, and every person in Abu Dhabi doesn't need to see any government department in their lives ever again as of 2027, and they're 97% there today.
Yeah, that's why we just consider it as a sovereign AI model rather than just a common foundation models. And by the way, I'm also curious about that. I also received so many common questions: when to start first, or which one to start first, which means even in the different government, they also have several departments and several business cases. So shall we just start from the specific use case first, or we need to centralize to think about how we just have a centralized platforms to build it from top down, or we just deep dive into this more specific case? What do you think?
Well, they already have started working on the large models and the foundational models, and I think Alibaba Cloud is actually based. I've seen that they have a very good center in the UAE. I think the best, in my view today, the best solution is to go with very specific use cases, to solve a specific problem, to address a specific issue. Try to understand the specificity of the Arabic language and each community, and try to address specific problems in specific sectors.
Yeah.
That would be a much better and much easier way to enter a market like the Middle East.
Yes, that's great. I think now that's just a turn to Mr. Edwin. I just like what we discussed before, actually you are working both, actually not only for the model training, but also for some consultancy parts. Yes. So I also know that, especially for the culture of the East Asia, we know that that is user trust and seamless experience and attention to detail, right? So that maybe have a specific, more strict requirements from the business needs. So what do you think in these perspectives, how we just do some business shift from the cost-driven AI mindset to a value creation mindset? So in what the transformation looks like and what's the challenge and what's the trend? What do you think?
Okay, so basically for Japanese market, I think the interesting thing is Japan is actually really behind when we're talking about IT usage. So most of the, especially when we're talking about large enterprises in Japan, they tend to outsource everything to specific IT companies in the past. But in this, I mean, like in this 2 years, what I witnessed is these large companies, their CIOs, CDOs I've been talking with, they basically say, oh, we have to do AI internally. We have to implement AI inside our own company because it's disruptive. I think this is a totally new thing in the 2 decades, I think. So it's not really happening to Japan that often. So based on that, I think the challenges you're talking about is actually pretty on the same page with what I think. Basically, Japanese large enterprises, they're really concerned about, the first interesting thing is they're concerned about accuracy.
Yeah.
And it's really actually kind of awkward to talk about accuracy with AI because, I mean, in natural, it hallucinates. So it's really hard for you to say, well, you have to do this 99% accurate. So what we do is actually we transform the goal into a more human understandable way, not just by calculating how accurate it is, but by how the ROI is actually really given, or how effectively is trying to doing the cost cut, or like making more revenues for the company. And the other thing is they really care about data privacy. So like especially for banks and other old manufacturing companies, they think they have lots of internal data that cannot be sent through API. So that's the reason why some of them are talking with us about open source, open weight models, especially by using Queen. Also, I think the last thing is based on the two things, they are heavily customized. So the Japanese large enterprises, they basically don't embrace a new technology. They let the new technology fit into their own work style, or like the workflow they have built for several decades. So our mission, why we're doing AI consulting, is basically because we have to deliver the AI technology specifically fit into each puzzle of the large enterprises. So that's the challenges we're facing, but we're doing this in a consulting way and using open source models.
Yes, thank you for for your comments, and it also reminds me that our president Fei also mentioned we have 5A Alibaba AI Innovation Anywhere, Anystack, and Anytime, and it is built for the different customer values, especially for E. Actually, which means, for example, efficiency is for some internal case, and that is more about the cost driven. But for the engagement, that is much more to acquire some new customers, and it is more to even change some new experience for the whole maybe behavior, customer behavior, small change. So with that one, we need to consider in different cases, it may also contribute into some different values. Right?
Yes, by that I think I have to say is the sake of accuracy is basically driven by cost effectiveness, or like you have to calculate that, right?
Yeah.
But when you're using large language models to develop a new frontier, you have to think, well, without large language model, these things cannot be done. So you can't think about accuracy or something. You have to think about the new opportunities, the values you're talking about, the new values generated by the usage of large language models. And that's something I think recently Japanese enterprises are starting to think, and that's the reason why some of them are really interested in this AI engine's usage to develop some new business models they cannot do with their own old work style.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think maybe we just move to another new topic. It's about ecosystem, because we know that the foundation model, that is the core engine for the whole new technology parts. However, if we want to make it achieved to meet all of the different business demands, actually we need a bridge. So this bridge could be something like end-to-end solution implementer or something like that, right? And this is for the technical part. And non-technical parts is for some consulting or methodology or some knowledge sharing or industry know-how, so that we can just make it happen. So what do you think about how we just, maybe you can share some of your approach to build the AI ecosystems within your specific local different business demands, and what do you think that is, which one is the primary opportunities and challenge? So, not sure who would like to say first.
I think in the age of generative AI, it's very interesting because unlike when we were at the deep learning era, you need to have a lot of data, and then you have to clean a lot of data. You have to label it in order for it to work really well, and thus it became problematic for a lot of companies, especially companies that are not very data savvy. The good thing about generative AI is that most, even non-data savvy company can use it almost immediately to solve their problems. And the problems that it is being used to solve is that it's a lot deeper than what it used to be. Remember, like software before generative AI was potentially improve 20% of the efficiency of your call center, whereas in the age of generative AI, it replaced the call center people. So the value of it is much bigger than what it used to be before. So which means that each of the ecosystem players that we work with, because as an AI lab, we provide the intelligence layer to the ecosystem. So we work with like wide variety of ecosystem players, because each of them will have to solve problem very deeply than what say PwC and whatnot solved before. But however, just because they solve it deeply, the value of they create is much bigger than before as well.
Okay, great. Mo, you want to share something?
Well, I mean, this is highly technical, but let me tell you, when we created our own super agent that advises our clients, we understood at the beginning that the current platforms, the current large models have not been able to help in terms of advisory. So it provides information, it provides data, some of it reliable, some of it is not, but it does not provide advisory. So we had to spend at least a full year in bringing our collective experience as a company to tap into all these models. We had at least 3 or 4 as a base to teach our agent on how to react to what we call active intelligence, i.e., what do you do with this information? How can you respond to a situation, to a major crisis, when there is, for example, when many global companies have faced boycott because of this war that's happening right now? What do we do? How do we respond to this? We spent almost a year as a company bringing our 40 years experience and developed an advisory tool that is sitting on these LLMs, and now that's actively advising the clients. So what it did, it brought, which is amazing, I mean, in terms of efficiency, it brought 40 years of experience to the fingertips of our clients by the best of consultants instantly. Okay. So the future we see that's happening is in that direction, and we see our role as businesses in how to speed up this process.
Great, yeah. How about you, Edwin?
So to talk about ecosystem in Japan, I think one of the things we have to consider is all of these large enterprises, although they have a huge budget for doing AI, but they are really strict on each step, how each functionality could generate an impact, either by cost effectiveness or by value. So they're not looking for a huge blueprint, actually, but rather they're looking for a small step-by-step approach to implement AI. That's actually a very interesting thing. And the other thing is, basically because, I mean, lots of the IT systems, and you say maybe databases or all this kind of infrastructure stuff, kind of lags behind, really, for like 30 years. And I can share you a story, like most of the people from other places can't imagine that like Japanese enterprises are still using some code from 40 years ago. So basically they are maintaining this 40 years ago something called mainframe infrastructure.
COBOL, right?
Yeah, you know that.
I know that, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of, if people know COBOL, they'll understand. It's something from 1950s or 60s.
Yeah,
so it's kind of rare to see people are still using that. So it's not the willingness of people, they're not trying to use AI. It's because those old systems lags behind the AI implementation of Japan. So basically, for the Japanese AI ecosystem, what we have to do is we have to upgrade the users' IT system first. So we have to help them upgrade the mainframe system. We have to help them upgrade the database system. And we have to build a whole infrastructure that's capable of using AI, and by a step-by-step approach. I think that's something really interesting.
Yeah, you remind me of another story I just received last week. One of the customers said, I just introduced our coder. If you know, this is the latest version for the coding copilots, and they just asked me that, can this coder can automatically generate the COBOL? I say, maybe we can just do some upgrade transformation from mainframe directly to the latest database, or even some other new technology, right? So this is maybe also going to another topic that we know today AI can do many things, but we also need to think about, is there something that is quite different from the past years or past business needs. So when the AI comes here, so can it achieve something which it cannot be achieved without AI? So for these kind of questions, maybe, I know maybe you want to share something first. Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely. In our workflow, or like in our consultancy, basically we face lots of cases when the enterprises have to put too many workflow or too many people simply to make something done.
Yeah.
And if they don't have enough resource, they will cancel the project or they'll stop the project. But right now, with the help of AI, basically they can start a project with like, maybe 20% of the people or 10% of the people, and they can start a project by a POC. Yeah. And also something like, just talk about the upgrades coding style. So in the past, people are considered why they're using the same old code from 40 years ago is because no one really understands the whole code base. Like people are doing patches to small parts of the system, but not a single people can understand what the whole system's doing. With the help with the long context LLM, we can just ingest the whole code base into the the model. Although it's still not perfect right now, but it can largely help people understand what the code is actually trying to do. So I think that are some parts typically in Japan.
No developers want to write any comments,
Yeah,
right? So they just use this
Especially
one to just add some
back in
comments.
40 years ago, like people don't know lean coding, right? So they don't have those best practices. So like people can't really read those codes.
Fantastic.
But with the help of AI, it's much easier.
Great. Yeah. How about Mr. Mamu? Yeah.
Well, let me take it from a different angle. I mean, your CEO spoke about interstellar travel this morning.
Yeah.
The question is, how can we rid ourselves of the rules of today to think about tomorrow? And this is because we are bound by our thinking. We're bound by the rules we live by. And that is the challenge. The term AI was invented, coined in Dartmouth 69 years ago. And next year is the 70th anniversary. So we are actually with the Dubai government hosting an AI at 70 event where we're bringing 150 to 200 best minds of AI worldwide, everybody who is big brain, philosophers, artists, to do exactly what you're asking, to sit together and rid themselves of the rules of today and think about the next 70. What will AI take to them? So it's I cannot answer this question. Hopefully we'll bring the greatest minds together next year to answer this question for us.
Yes. And Jimon, please.
So one of the biggest things that I observe with generative AI is the fact that the creation of software system becomes a lot cheaper, a lot more affordable than before. So some of the bank that we are running, for example, we can even wipe code a internal tool for a team of 5 people, which used to be impossible. We won't build software for 5 people. But now I think as the generative AI continuously be driving down the creation of software system, I think it is possible that we might even create tool for 1 person, simply because it makes the economic sense to do it in this day and age.
Yes. So for my point of view, I think we can collect all of the different ideas as much as possible today, which means, for example, if you want to just bring up new ideas, you don't have any draft, can you just, actually we can just leverage the large language models to give you at least maybe 3 of that or even 10 of that one, and I can just choose some of that one and continue doing some optimizations, which means I can at least find not too bad a benchmark or starting points with that. And together, because the language models can read all of the information very, very fast and at least give you some very quick summary and also the talking points, the bullets, and you can do a deeper analysis based on our real experience. And we also have a very great confidence that with the AI, not only is it just give us our high efficiency, but also can give us some new innovation and evolution for the whole work, for the whole of the daily work. Thank you so much, and this is a very fantastic moment, and hopefully we can also have a more bright future. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the panelists. Please remain on the stage as we will take a quick group picture together. Photographer, please help to take the picture. Okay, please give them a round of applause again for our panelists and our hosts for the sessions. Sports is no longer just about performance, it's about data, engagement, fan experience, and operational transformations. In these sessions, we'll explore how AI reshaping every link of the sport ecosystem, from training, officiating, to broadcasting and commercializations. This discussion will be moderated by Mr. Flat, Head of AI and Solution Architect for Olympic and Sport Technology at Alibaba Cloud. Together with him, we have Mr. Luca Fasani, Director of Digital and Office Operations at World Aquatic, Ms. Claudine Breton, General Director of ThinkSport, Ms. Zhao Li, Chief of Commercial and Marketing at International Skating Union. And please give them a round of applause to start the sessions. Please go on the stage.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having us today. It's been such an inspiring day, isn't it? We have been covering so many exciting topics from our leadership team, from the dear guests, and from the experts, especially from the previous panel. I think the discussion around the actual implementation of the AI sparked lots of interest from the audience. Today, I'm delighted to invite you to our panel, AI in the sports. And that's what I say, where the passion meets our professions. And I'm actually very blessed to have an opportunity to work on a big project in the sports, including Olympics. Now, as you can see, we're extending our partnership into working with the ISU and the World Aquatics. We see over the past several years that the development of the technology in the sports industry is no longer something something not very fundamental, but actually become essential. So I would be happy to invite our dearest panelists today. We have Claudine Breton, General Director of the ThinkSport, who connects the stakeholders across federations, academia, and industry to drive collaborations and innovations. We also have with us Zhao Li, Chief Commercial and Marketing Officer at the International Skating Union, leading the fan engagement, commercial strategy, and digital growth in one of the most global Olympic sports. And we're very excited to see more competition in coming Milano Cortina. And finally, we have Luca Fasani, Director of Digital and Office Operations at World Aquatics, who is driving digital transformation and operational excellence across aquatic disciplines worldwide. So with this, I would like to kick off our today panel. We have roughly 5 group of the questions, and we'll be happy to hear your opinions and maybe your suggestions, how you implemented the AI in your respective organizations. I would like to begin with you, Claudine. We've been discussing for several years already. We have a privilege to know each other. As a general manager of the ThinkSport, you are the center of connecting stakeholders across sport, academia, and the industry. Could you introduce ThinkSport for us so that audience can actually better understand what is your vision of the sports in general and what is your mission as an organization?
Thank you very much, and thank you for the warm welcoming. We're very happy to participate. It's my first participation, at least at Aspera, and it's been a great experience so far. So thank you, Valmir. So to tell you a bit more about ThinkSport, we are a non-profit organization that exists for 10 years now. We were founded in the Olympic capital of Lausanne in Switzerland by the International Olympic Committee and the Swiss authorities. And our main role is to help all of the sports international federation based out there, but not only, also work with the national federation and also clubs and leagues to think about the future of their sports. So we work with them on understanding their needs. We also help them in sourcing solution with either existing corporations that are big in innovation, such as Alibaba, but also with startups and scale-ups that are at the full speed in their development. And we help them prototype, test, and experiment. And also, when required, we bring them in front of investors as well. All of this with the goal, Vladimir, of accelerating innovation in the sports industry. So that's who we are.
Fantastic, Claudine. Thank you very much. Zhao, I guess for you, first of all, congratulations to the ISU on successfully launching the Olympic season. With the recent event, Qualifier event in Beijing, it was very exciting. I'm very happy to see one of my favorite skaters, Petra-san, winning the qualifier. Very exciting. So as Chief of Commercial and Marketing, could you give us a brief overview of the ISU? Maybe some of the audience are not very familiar with winter sport.
Sure. So thanks, Vlad. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jiao from one of the oldest international Olympic Federation, International Skating Union. So we're the federation that has 133 years of history. Literally the second oldest international federation among the whole Olympic family. So we are based in Lausanne, the capital city of the Olympic as well. Sometimes working together with Think Sport, and now we're kicking off the collaboration officially and together with Alibaba. So under our federation, we govern in 4 different sports: figure skating, short track, speed skating, as well as synchronized skating. So the first 3 are Olympic sports, which means in less than 5 months' time, you will see us all over the place in Milano Cortina 2026. So our season 25-26 is extremely important when Olympic Winter Federation is coming up. So as Vlad mentioned, we officially kicked off our season last weekend in Beijing as a Skate to Milano figure skating Olympic qualifier. And that was also one of our recent collaboration together with Alibaba Cloud. And we worked with Alibaba Cloud to try to create an immersive experience through content production to provide our fans with immersive experience and in a figure skating event. And hopefully starting from this event and Skate to Milano, we're able to work in more different events across different disciplines. So coming into this season, our main objective is really to leverage on the Olympic season to engage more fans and recruit new fans and will serve our core fans better. And then last but not least, in a few weeks' time, we're launching our new revamped digital app, which is an immersive and interactive experience. And I hope we will get there more in details. Thank you.
Wow, what exciting lineup with disciplines. You should stay tuned and watch how these athletes, fantastic athletes, will compete in Milano Cortina. Exciting time. Luca, back to you. And honestly, I had a privilege working in Paris 2024, and I feel like it was yesterday. And I cannot imagine that you already completed the championship in Singapore. So first of all, congratulations on that. Fantastic results. I think the audience who is very familiar with the water sports were following on this championship progress. So Luca, please introduce your federations as well to the audience.
Thanks. Good afternoon, ni hao, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm also a rookie for the Apsara conference, so my first time here. Very honored to be on this stage. Singapore was the last of 9 major events in 4 years after the pandemic. We had Olympic Games twice, 3 times the World Championships, Swimming World Championships as well. And so now, actually, contrary to ISU, we will rest for a little. Actually, we are announcing today the dates of the next swimming championships that will take place in Beijing, so from 1st to 6th of December 2026. and we will be also back in Beijing in 2029 for the World Champ. So China is of course one of the most important market for us. Coming back to World Aquatics, we changed our name almost 4 years ago. We were called FINA, and since then we went through a deep process of transformation, mainly on digital, but also across our competition calendar, our development programs. We are the governing body of 6 aquatic sports. So they are swimming, diving, artistic swimming, high diving, open water swimming, and water polo. 5 out of 6 are Olympic sports. As you mentioned, swimming is probably the most important sport, together with athletics and gymnastics at the Olympic Games. So I was also there in Paris, and it was really a privilege to see all this spectacle. And yeah, we're looking forward to the next edition of the games.
Sure, fantastic. I think now you understand more about the organizations and the panelists who represent them. I would like to continue and move a bit deeper in AI, because what we see is that AI is increasingly being used by the international sports organizations worldwide. We see various applications already, many of them are in production. We see the implementation for the member services, governance, business development. I would like to start with you, Claudine. Think Sport has a unique point across many international federations and industry partners. From your perspective, what kind of key trends you can see in this overall movement from the implementation of data analytics into decision-making process or broad implementation of the AI in their operations?
Sure. I think the trend that we see is that international federation no longer see these tools as nice to have. They see them as must have, really as enablers for the future of their governance. When it comes to what it provided, they're a very powerful tool in allowing them to become a lot more transparent when it comes to financial reporting, so on and so forth. And it also allows them, when it comes to the volume of data that AI is giving them the capability to produce, to move into a sphere of predictive analysis and trends, which allows them as well to make better decision making, whether on a short, medium, or long term. So I think really in terms of opportunity, AI is providing them I guess, the opportunity to become a lot more agile. But when it comes to risks as well, there's always this side. It's all about the quality as well of the data that you're using. And I think that is nothing new to everyone here in the room. So that's what I would say in terms of governments and decision making for the International Federation.
Yeah, I cannot agree more on that. Luke, I would like to continue with you. I know your organization already experimenting with digital transformation and operations and competitions, organizing the events. So how do you see AI supporting your governance, whether in decision-making process or maybe athletes and overall global events organization?
Sure. I think all these areas are definitely very, very important, and I see AI applications in all of those. Ultimately, World Aquatics priority is always with the athletes. We actually organize everything for them, and our sports are full of data, results. We, of course, we have sports that can gather a lot of data from our scoring systems, timing, and so I think for us athletes and how we can develop new tools for them to enhance their performances, to train better is absolutely something where I can see a lot of value. And as Clint said, of course, we also oversee 210 national federations. And of course, the level of these federations in terms of resources and development is not the same across the globe. And I think that AI can bring a more, let's say, democratic way of organizing themselves. And of course, use resources more efficiently. So these are the two areas where I can see the prevalence of AI in the next cycle.
Thanks, Luca. The next one is a tricky one. I know we've been discussing that before the panel. I would like to discuss about the fairness and objectivity in the sport. Because I know the both ISU and World Aquatics, you providing the judging and officiating, that really hard and can be a lot depend on the opinion and subjective, right? So this set of certain complexity in making decisions, such as in figure skating or diving. So I would really love to understand your vision on that. I know it might be very challenging to answer directly, but I would like to invite Zhao first to address this question. So I know that your federation is exploring already some of the AI and digital tools, supporting and helping and assisting referees with their very tough job. So maybe you can tell us more about that.
Well, thanks, Vlad. It's a very actually practical question as well as an amazing, great question. So when we talk about judging, especially in figure skating, the judging is both technical as well as subjective. So when we come to AI, how can AI to help in judging? It definitely can help to improve the consistency as well as the transparency through the whole judging process. And when we talk about figure skating, it's not an easy sport to be understood. And every single rotate, every single jump, and how you land on the edge of your tones, that's a lot of technical details that's being involved. If we consider to using AI in the judging, and one day we even open it for our fans, it really lower the barriers for people to actually access and understand our sports. And then on the other sports, under our governance, short track, we actually had already implemented AI-based judging tool since last season. We implemented and introduced the VAR system in every single live events. And that has been successfully proved and also appreciated by our fans globally. It's just very open to show our openness and fairness and our clean and also transparent process when we are governing a sport from a federation perspective. So when you talk about next step, how can we better probably embrace AI? It's really about how to scaling it and into every single competition level. And from the federation's perspective, to really make sure that we are operating under a clear protocol of safeguarding and make sure that the whole process is also under cost efficiency.
Fantastic. And I also share your opinion. I guess even though with advancement of the AI, we won't see in the short term replacement of the human referees with the AI automated one. Here we're talking about the judging rather for as the supporting tool rather than decision-making mechanism, right? So with this, Luca, I would like to invite you, because I imagine the diving and other aquatic disciplines can be also very controversial, right? So how is World Aquatics exploring the use of AI and technology to support referee new disciplines?
So first of all, let me say which are the sports that actually are judged, which are artistic swimming, diving, and high diving. What we did already to improve that process of transparency, especially with artistic swimming, was actually to change the rules to make the judging more clearer and more transparent. And so that is not related to the AI, but already helped a lot the process. I think the integrity of our judges and officials will be confirmed actually by AI tools because, of course, as you said, ours also are not easy sport, so there is a lot of preparation, a lot of training behind this. From that point of view, I think AI can be very helpful, in particular to ensure that consistency across all the range of events. Of course, we move from Olympic Games to World Champs, where we have 25 cameras under the water, over the water, and everything going on at the same time, but we also have age group events or national events where maybe you have 3 cameras. So that's where AI can be supportive and provide more technology to cover also those events. Then we already use AI and VAR for other sports, of course, to help judges to see whenever there is an infraction, especially in swimming. Depending on the strokes, there are different rules, and so that is something that we are already doing, and is more like support to the judges rather than replacing them from the officiating.
Because we had the privilege as Alibaba Cloud being very deeply involved in the sports industry, I had the first-hand experience seeing how technologically driven and enabled your sports are. Especially during the Paris time, we've seen the setup of the some of the venues, and we see amount of the cameras, amount of the smart trackers and devices implemented on venues is just unprecedented. And how accurate, like we can calculate today the time under the water, number of the strokes. We see the biometrics data in real time. That's unprecedented. I would like to move to the next topic, which is actually the whole purpose of the sports, right? We all build it around the fans. So fans are in the center of the attention of each of the sport discipline that we discussed today. The expectation is well growing because we all get used to a new technology that we have in our normal life, and the same expectation might rise actually from the fans, from the fan sides. Claudine, maybe I can begin with you. Can you please share your opinion from your broader perspective, working with federations and partners? What new innovations do you see emerging around the fans' engagement, whether in broadcasting, immersive staging, or a digital platform, or maybe you can see something else coming?
Sure, Vlad. If I look and maybe tackle the first point that you've mentioned, broadcasting, I think it's clear that what you've heard from the IOC, we're not talking about the future. We're talking about what's happening right now. The traditional form of broadcast, I guess, no longer exists in sports. The fans have more expectation in terms of what they're going to view and experience, and no longer just about results. It's also about the experiences they'll be living. So if we move into the immersive, I guess, staging, some of the international federations are moving into AR and VR, and that basically help them cater as well with the younger generations that are looking for these type of engagement. And if we are then moving into a digital platform, we're also seeing a trend with fan platform or reward platform taking shape, and that allows some of the sports organization to be a lot closer with their communities and connect with their fans. So it not only has a commercial value, but it also puts them back at the core of being a connector between, I guess, maybe grassroots elites and their Olympians and the communities that they're able to manage.
Great. Zhao, maybe we can continue with you, because I know fan engagement is a very strong focus for the ISU. We see lots of innovation in the organization around engaging with them. So it would be very interesting to understand how you're using AI to connect with the skating fans. Maybe you can share your thoughts around the personalization or digital content that you're producing, new interactive features, or maybe new ways of experimenting the competitions.
Yeah, sure. So as Vlad mentioned, the ISU is really going through a modernization and transformation process. And skaters stay as the core in our business and in our day-to-day operation. But how to serve our fans and serve them better and make sure that we have more fans and more skating fans globally, that's our ultimate goal. And ultimately having more people to put their skate on and start to skate. And that's our mission. So we always ask ourselves when we do things, we care about our fans, then who are they? What do they want? So I think across all the sports industry today, we have more and more picky and demanding fans who are looking for more and more exclusive, behind-the-scene, faster pace, turnaround content, and also more immersive experience, and together with interactive experience together with the sport, and as well as the skaters, with the athletes, and more importantly, also with their friends when they consume the sport. So from an ISU perspective, we are really looking for a technical or innovative way to changing how our fans globally are consuming skating. So we are trying to look for different touch points. We have been implementing different social channels and tools to serve their entertainment elements and content. But as I just mentioned, we are going to launch our revamped app, which is fully with personalization and customization journey. So through this app, it's fully AI powered with high turnaround highlights and with overlay sticks, and as well as live results to empower our fans to understand what's going on in the venue, and also to offer them 360 approach if they would like to have to consume our sport in general. So have some smart recommendation from AI is also crucial in our new app.
Wow. Well, here I'm also biased, again, because I'm working in sports and in technology. I'm fan of the ISU disciplines. And I couldn't say more that it's the best time for you actually to use these AI tools, digital tools, to explore the sports and actually choose your preferred disciplines. I think we cover lots today. I would like to ask you around the challenges and opportunities, especially in these dynamic domain like an AI in each of your respective organizations. So maybe you can share what do you see as the biggest hurdles, but maybe not only hurdles, but also the opportunities that come with the hurdles. Because we all know how complex AI environment is. And here we're talking about the data privacy, how expensive to implement our AI solutions, engaging with the athletes, professionals, getting their consent on using their biometrical data, personal information. So this is quite complicated. Maybe you can share some of the anecdotes or stories from this. Maybe we can begin with Luca.
Okay. I go first. Okay. I think I will start with the hurdles maybe, and I think this is a general one, and is very much related to the reliability of the information, right? Because especially in my domain with digital communication, social media, there is really a lot of fake information going on, and AI can actually, unfortunately, bring a lot of false information, and especially when we are talking about integrity of athletes, judges, teams, this is something that can be potentially dangerous for the sport. Probably another AI agent would maybe make sure that we can rely on certain information and not on other. When it comes to opportunities, I go back again to the point of the athletes. As I said before, we are really focusing on them, and this is not only about professional, but we're talking also about non-endemic the swimmers. Maybe like you go to the swimming pool once a week, for example. You are an athlete, you are a swimmer, and that's where we see a lot of opportunities. So my wish for the next future is that regardless the type of athlete you can be, you can get great data or information or tips from AI. So no matter if you are competing at the Olympic Games or maybe you are just learning how to swim, you can get something useful from an AI agent or an application or a tool that can allow you to swim, which is of course something that is very important and very close to us. Last but not least, from what we have seen today from the presentation from OBS, I hope next year to come back here and maybe have a business case after the brand new partnership with Alibaba and maybe present something new.
Absolutely, that would be a privilege for us. Claudine, how about you?
Yes, thank you. I mean, I guess you've heard from both federations that athletes are really at the heart, and it should say like that. So I would have a reflection to say that the athletes are also becoming more and more conscious about the value of their data, their results. So the federations will need to be very responsible on how and what they do with those data. The second, perhaps, challenges when it comes to AI within the sphere of federations, it's also the cost. So the biggest federations are able to invest, while the smaller ones are still lacking a bit behind, and we need to help them in their journey so that we're able to push forward that transition throughout the entire sports industry. And the third pivot, I would say, is probably resistant to change, as you've mentioned. The leadership in those organizations, the governance, we see a big shift into moving into this innovation and new technologies when, I guess, the leadership embraces it. And so it is being implemented a lot quicker when the general director or the president is pushing internally. So I see AI as an enabler, and it's no questions, a no-brainer. We're moving in that direction as an industry, and I guess you've heard from my two colleagues that it's also part of their daily challenges and opportunities to implement with their governance, but also with the athletes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Claudine. Zhao, how about you?
So I'm not going to repeat what you just said, but probably if I may summarize a bit. Currently, seeking skaters, athletes' concern in terms of data privacy definitely is our fundamental step one to do. And also, as a sport federation, pushing for innovation, driving for changes, balancing between the innovation and the technology part while maintain our tradition is also another thing we need to really think about it. However, that being said, challenge aside, and opportunity ahead. So from an AI perspective, how I vision it for our athletes, no matter which sport you're doing, AI-powered performance training and help to improve their result is definitely that's what can be beneficial for the athletes. And for the judges, as we just mentioned, and that will bring more openness and also transparency into our sport, which will help the whole sport industry to move forward. And last but not least, for the fans, providing an immersive and also interactive experience will help us to communicate and stay closer with them, no matter where, anywhere, anytime, and any stake, if I may just borrow the words. So lastly, if I may conclude this, I would say AI is the bridge and in our industry, and it makes our sport more accessible as well as more consumable. No matter it's a cloud or technology industry or sports industry, I think we share the same value, which is unify the world, engage the younger fans, and through the power of technology and sport.
Fantastic, Zhao. Wow, and also I'm very impressed how quickly you actually remember our strategy, and that's what we have to do ourselves. At the beginning of the panel, I said that we're here today where our passion meets the profession. And there's no surprise, I see we run out of time. So the time really flies fast. I would stay a bit longer because I have much more questions than what we discussed today. But I would like to thank you all today, Claudine, Zhao, Luca. We had very rich discussions. We covered so many things, starting from the governance, into fan engagement, digital transformation. And I really hope the audience today would leave inspired about the opportunities ahead for the sports technologies. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for all the panelists. Please remain on the stage as we will take a group picture together. Photographer, please help to take the picture. Thank you so much for the panelists. Please give them another round of applause as this is also conclude our today's International AI Innovation Forum. We would like to thanks again for all of our speakers today. We acknowledge the valuable insights shared by our speakers and panelists, underscoring the transformative power of AI across industries and its role in fostering global collaborations. On behalf of Alibaba Cloud and the Apsara Conference 2025 Organizing Committee, we thank all the participants for your contribution for this successful forum. We look forward to continue this important dialogue in the futures. Want to share with you for the tomorrow's agenda. There are several agenda. The first one is in the morning, we have Apsara Stack Global AI Innovation Forum that will start at 9:30 in the hall A21. And in the afternoon, around 2 p.m., we will have international. We also have the Global Ignite stage that will happen in Pavilion 3. So yeah, that's conclude all the session today. See you in Apsara Conference 2026. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.